In this video, we're gonna be talking about some upcoming hot projects as well as some breaking news in the NFT space. So the first project that we're gonna be talking about is going to be 88 Dynasty. Now I tried to look around to see who the founders were, wasn't able to find it. As you can see, we have this 3D model over here. It's called a Quillen. It's kind of like a lion dragon kind of animal. For a specific market who understands what this is, like especially people who are Asian, and they definitely have seen this like Chinese New Year's and things like that. You know, it might be hitting that market in particular, right? Whether it's like China, Taiwanese, Vietnamese, you know, a lot of people kind of know what this is. They did a collaboration or doing a collaboration with Dumbfounded. And it seems that this guy Takoa, who's pretty popular on Twitter, has officially became an advisor. So it's really interesting to see how this project is gonna turn out. And I think right now they're doing a locked Discord strategy. So check out their Twitter to learn more about this if it's something you are interested in. Next, we're gonna be talking about our boy Kevin. Kevin has been making waves, especially during this time in the market. And somebody actually created this project, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, called Kevin Punks. There's 555 of these, and they kind of took the Kevin character and then they turned it into a crypto punk, and that's the Kevin Punk. And right now the floor is 1 Ethereum, which is pretty crazy with 500 Ethereum volume traded. So it's like, you know, some people say we're in a bear and things are kind of dry, but it's really crazy to see like these kind of meme projects coming out and people actually buying it. You know, probably it will go to zero is my guess eventually, but a lot of people are making a lot of money flipping these Kevin Punks, and there's other derivatives of Kevin as well. So could that be a sign of the top? Could that be a sign of things correcting even further? I'm not really sure, but I just want to bring this to your attention that my boy Kevin is doing great. And if we look 11 hours ago, we can see that people were buying these Kevin Punks for literally 2 Ethereum, 2.35, and then now it's, you know, 1 Ethereum, so I guess the price is dropping down. But that's how it goes, right? Like meme projects, you're gonna expect them to pump, everyone's gonna like degen into it, and then it will dump eventually. So you have to know, or you have to be smarter than the other traders. Speaking of being smarter, make sure to join our free Discord. The Parallax link is in the description if you want free whitelist opportunities as well as free alpha. It's not always gonna be free because I'm gonna be launching an NFT project soon, but for now, everybody can experience it before you actually buy into any project that I put out. Next thing we're gonna be talking about is a little update on Azuki. So right now they're gonna be releasing the Bobu sale coming out, right? And so essentially what this is that they have a expensive Azuki, and it's a 1 of 1. So essentially they're gonna sell this one, right? I believe it's Azuki number 40, and they're gonna fractionalize it. So pretty much what they're saying is, okay, this in their eyes is worth 200 Ethereum. Is that necessarily true? I have no idea. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna fractionalize it using this website, fractional.art, meaning that you take the NFT, you lock it up, and then to represent that NFT, you're gonna create 20,000 tokens, and that's the Bobu that people are going to buy. And so by buying the Bobu token, you own a small percentage of this super expensive NFT. So as the value of this NFT goes up, well, the value of your Bobu will also go up. But if that value of that NFT goes down, then your investment also goes down as well. And the way they kind of framed it, from my understanding, is that it's an experiment of decentralization of intellectual property. So what does that mean? Well, you know, instead of like, let's say like Nintendo owning Pokemon and they own everything, right? And all the money they make from the games and things like that, they're always going to reap the rewards of their effort. So what Azuki, you know, from my understanding based on their website and what they communicate to the world, is that they want to decentralize their brand. So right now it is centralized where, you know, the owners own the company and they're still building it out, they're a small team. But over time they want to keep giving ownership to regular people to own a small piece, and this is one way to do it. And if you think about it, doing a set of like 10,000 NFTs and everybody has one, that's a sense of decentralization as well. So the Bobu is kind of another step where you're taking one NFT, fractionalizing it into 20,000 pieces, and then allowing the regular person to just spend like $5 or like $100 to own a little piece of Azuki and get some type of benefit by going into the Discord and things like that. Whereas, you know, most people are kind of priced out of Azuki because it's like 8 to 10 ETH right now from my understanding. So I think from a marketing perspective, it's pretty smart because you're basically creating a cheaper product for other people who know what you are and aspire to buy your thing, to have an entry point. Kind of like if people want to buy Louis Vuitton and they don't really want to buy a Louis Vuitton suit, the entry thing they could buy is a Louis Vuitton wallet for $400. And then as they make more money and become more successful in their life, they slowly move up and buy more and more and more, right? It's the same with like cars too, right? You start with a cheaper car if you're a celebrity, and then they'll try to keep selling you up. Basically upselling, if you think about it, right? It's like a marketing tactic that has been around for a while. By doing this Bobu thing, they're gonna get a lot of people buying the token, and then one day those people might get lucky, or they might get smart, they might become entrepreneurs and get rich, and then they'll be like, you know, I bought that Bobu a long time ago and now I really want the real Azuki. And now the demand for Azuki will continue to increase because they have a flow of new people coming to their project. So it seems like based on the Discord, they're saying that 100% of the funds of the sales will go to a multi-sig wallet used for only fund proposals voted by the Bobu Fraction holders. At the start of the experiment, this multi-sig will be controlled by Azuki team, which makes sense because they gotta figure out what they're really gonna do. And then over time, they're going to push the control and the power towards the users once they get the things going. So it's an interesting idea. We'll see if it works. Again, it's an experiment. It could completely flop. It could be a success. Who knows? But it's very interesting. And if it does work, I'm sure a lot of people will copy that model. Next update we're gonna be talking about is going to be Project Godjira. So they got some small leaks over here. The generation 2 that we talked about in the other video, they're gonna be split between good and evil. And that's interesting because, you know, by creating conflict in IP, right, intellectual property, it gives a reason, gives a story, like it makes it more interesting and dynamic and easier to create any type of story in anything they do in the future. They're also saying that Gen 2 are gonna be deflationary, meaning that, you know, there's gonna be coming out with 3, and then in somehow, some way, there are gonna be ways to burn probably your Godjira, maybe turn it into a, you know, a Titan, a Mega Godjira, or a hybrid, right? And, you know, there's no information on exactly how that will work, how you will fuse different NFTs to create something different, and is that thing gonna be even more valuable? It's the game that they play, right? And so a lot of people like playing these kind of games. If you're constantly burning your Godjiras, there's less supply, meaning the price will increase, then it creates more FOMO and more people want to buy into the project, and it just creates this kind of growing ecosystem as long as it can keep it going. And one thing that I found really interesting is that on their recent Medium article, so it's saying that 300 will be reserved for the team because 100% of the Gen 2 sales and the royalties from OpenSea is going to a community wallet, which will be used to continue to grow the project. So that means the team is only getting paid in Godjira, which is quite interesting because now they are really invested to making this a long-term project. As you can see, the vesting schedule of this is going to be 5 years, assuming they're telling the truth. And we have no idea what's gonna happen like 2 years from now, right? But let's say they are. The only way they're gonna make a lot of money is if they continue to build a project for the next 5 years and increase the value of Godjira Gen 2 to the point where every month they're getting a ton of money because they wanna be a part of that project and they are well incentivized to do it. And the money that they make from the royalties goes to a community wallet, and then we'll see where that actually goes, right? And I think this is a little vague because it's like, yes, it goes to a community wallet, but then how is that fund being used, right? Because you can say, oh, the community wallet, we're gonna be using it to pay our team, which is us. So then they can just siphon that money to them, right? So it's not really clear how it's gonna work. And I would love to, you know, if anyone has any insight on that, but like, I would really be curious to see how that community wallet is going to be used to grow the community and to make this a great project. But, you know, just even doing this vesting schedule is far beyond what other NFT projects are doing. Most projects are just taking the money from the royalties and the mint, putting it in their pocket and disappearing. So I respect that they're actually putting an effort to say like, hey guys, we're here for the long term. I'm very interested to see how they do in the long term, you know? So next update that we have is going to be NFT Keys, and it's another project that I covered and, you know, it hasn't come out quite yet. Recently, they launched a new roadmap and they launched some visuals for these keyboards, and you can see the graphics is pretty good. They're definitely going to hit a niche that is very underserved, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna be the first like NFT keyboard company coming out. This thing is gonna instantly sell out from my perspective, not financial advice. Now, let's look at the roadmap real quick. So 5 unique keyboards. They're gonna have some tokens and you're gonna claim those tokens. Okay, monthly cosmetics and drops. So I guess you use your tokens to upgrade your keyboard. Cool, but then what does it really do? So they're gonna release interactive jelly software experience. No idea what that is. Do people need software for their keyboard? Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna reinvent the space. I don't know. It's kind of vague, but you know, you just kind of have to follow along to see what this actually turns out to be. Physical utility, which is maybe using your cosmetics and how you decorate your keyboard and turning it into a physical product. That's pretty cool, right? So imagine if, I'm just speculating here, but imagine if you can buy these keyboards, you customize it using your tokens on their website, and then let's say this jelly thing is a software to design your keyboard exactly how you want it, which would be pretty cool. And then what if you can just physically create your keyboard that you made in their software and deliver it to your home and actually use it, and it's great? That would be a pretty interesting use case. You know, I tried to buy like customized keyboards in the past. The problem I always had was like, every time I try to order something, it'll be like, oh yeah, you know, this will come out next year. I'll be like, wait, I don't understand. I have to buy these keycaps and I have to wait like 6 months to 1 year to get it. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it because it's like, I literally have to wait a year to build my keyboard. I ended up buying a stock Razer keyboard because I didn't want to deal with that mess, right? But if they're finding a way to make it fun, gamified for people who are enthusiasts, then it's something interesting, right? And play to earn caps. I don't know how they're going to develop a game on top of a keyboard NFT, but you know, in the crypto space, you can make a game out of anything. So I think as long as they have the attention, they have that niche audience that is, you know, diehard fans of keyboards, I'm pretty sure they can come up with any type of game. Even if it's not good, people will probably play it because they have that play to earn element, and it's like, it's not just a game, but it's a way to make free money. right? And so I think because of those dynamics, and if the market continues to keep going up, well, people are probably gonna buy into it just because it's probably one of the better projects. So yeah, definitely something to keep on your radar if you are into mechanical keyboards. And one macro perspective I wanna share with you is like, let's take a look at like the crypto markets in general, right? Because we're talking about NFTs, but what's really going on macroly? So we see that, there was quite a big dip a few days ago, like a week ago, where Ethereum was like going down because of all the crazy news, uncertainty, and then it just bounced back up like a spring, right? So now Ethereum's going back to 3K. So if everyone's buying Ethereum when it dipped, then a lot of people took profits from NFT, they move it into Ethereum again, and it keeps pumping and pumping and pumping. And then what people speculate, and honestly it kind of is a coin toss, to be honest, I'm not a guru on this, but like when ETH usually pumps and NFTs like decline, which it kind of is, and it's kind of dry for NFTs, what's gonna happen, or what usually happens, is that people move their profits they made from Ethereum, right? That like 30% that they made, and they move it into these cheap NFTs that basically dumped in price. We might see a little bit of a run with NFTs, or we might not, I don't know. So that's why, in my opinion, it's always good to have some liquidity to capture these opportunities where, prices just dump, and then you have opportunity to buy something cheap during, times when people are very fearful. And so with that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys in the next one.